up the fever. I think what I've learned in my WNBA experience is pace of play trumps physicality, it trumps size, it can trump experience, because a lot of times when you're experienced, it's really like code word for your veteran, which is code word for your old.
Slow the pace.
Yeah. So I feel like
I know that's why you guys were so good for those
in
years.
2018 and 2020, the years we won, that was our whole mantra, was pace, 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 pace. And what I see in Caitlin, what I see in Kelsey Mitchell, they're just like ramming it down people's throats, and it's really hard. It can have your head spinning. So yeah, as I mentioned, Kelsey Mitchell's balling, Caitlin continuing to impress, and just she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple of years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record break.
Yeah,
the only thing that's I find most interesting is at the start of the season, everybody had their panties in a twist over Caitlin getting picked up full court and Caitlin being denied, and I think what I'm not surprised by is naturally during a WNBA season, you start to, teams and players, you start to get a little tired. You're kind of in like the doldrums of the every day or every other day is a game. And it's hard to keep that discipline to guard a player like that. So I'm not surprised it dropped off. But what do you know? She's no longer getting picked up full court in the ways that we like teased Ari McDonald for when she did it after a free throw when she still had another free throw. But what you're seeing is Caitlin now is able to push the ball up the floor. She's able to hit those get-ahead passes. Yeah. And so I won't be surprised if as the season gets later into like playoff runs, if you start to see teams do more, and you're definitely going to see it in the playoffs. Yeah. But everybody, that's why you had to pick Caitlin up full court. Yeah. This is why. The numbers she's putting up now, like, this is why.
And now she broke the record.
Yeah, everyone was like mad about it. I was like, I don't get it. That would be like, I don't even know what it would be like. It'd be like letting Kevin Durant shoot pull-ups all day. It's like, no.
Can't do it, y'all.
Yeah, I just, yeah.
She's also like figuring it out and settling in.
She's definitely figuring it out.
Got a little rest.
Oh, another thing, by the way, I never thought Caitlin wasn't strong. That was actually something I noticed in college. Like, she had a strength about her. Will she get stronger, and will that help her? Yeah. I think it was more just getting used to the hits and the physicality and like what refs are going to call, what they're not going to call. And you've seen her adjust in that way too. Like, she got blocked pretty bad by Ezzy, took a little bit of a splat. And like, yeah, I'm sure she was a little pissed, but she kind of got up, took the lick, and got back. Yeah. You know, whereas earlier in the season, I think it would have impacted her a little bit more. So
just get used to
she's definitely getting used to it, which is, you know, trouble for everybody else. That's why I don't want to see her. I don't want to see Phoenix. Kalia Copper is ballin'.
So look, there you have it right there. Sue Bird giving us some actually positive words about Caitlin Clark. Unlike a lot of these other NBA veterans out there, you know, Sue Bird actually giving Caitlin Clark her flowers, pretty much letting it be known. Look, this is getting regular at this point. Caitlin Clark's going to be breaking records for the next couple years, right? One thing I do want to point out is something that I talked about earlier on in the year about Caitlin Clark getting pressured, being physical with Caitlin Clark, trying to bully Caitlin Clark, push her around. All you're going to do, it's like, you know, when you have that little brother and you just kind of bully him all day. You bully him when you're playing one-on-one basketball and football, whatever. And you just do it for so many years. Then he grows up a little bit, and now he then took all of that punishment that you did to him and try to bully him, and now he's stronger. So with you guys doing that to Caitlin Clark, I said, okay. I have plenty of videos saying, okay, keep on doing that. Keep trying to rough her up. Keep trying to be physical. Keep on trying to bully her. All you're going to do is turn her into a monster. She's going to start playing through that, playing off that, being physical back, getting in your face. I've seen plenty of clips this year. She's not backing down to shit. Word on the street is she has 3 older brothers, and she's used to this. I'm not saying she's a fighter or whatever, but as far as holding her own on the floor, we've seen plenty of times she holds her own on that floor. So I'm actually surprised Sue Bird, given this type of credit where it's due. Breath of a fresh breath of air right there. We'd like to see that, you know, get away from such the hateful stuff as usual. But, you know, Sue Bird, class act right there. That's how you support the rookie. Welcome her into the WNBA. You know, Sue Bird, a legend herself, one of the best to do it. But, you know, Caitlin Clark, what they're doing, this is the type of recognition that should be said about her. Caitlin Clark hasn't disrespected anybody, man. Even when the disrespect goes towards her. She hasn't really disrespected anybody. So, as stated, you don't want to see the fever Nah, not in the playoffs. You don't. As I stated, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark playing with that type of pace, it's going to be hard for a team to keep up. As she stated, if you're not going to pick up Caitlin Clark full court, this is what she's going to do to you. This is why teams had to pick her up full court. This is the exact reason teams had to pick Caitlin Clark up full court, because of what she's doing right now in the WNBA. She is dicing teams apart left and right. And now her team is bought in. Not good for the league. So as stated, when it comes to the playoffs, best believe they're going to have to try to trap and pick up Caitlin Clark full court. Because all this loose space that you guys are giving her, oh man, don't give her too much of that. She's going to kill you guys. She's going to go off on you guys. Yeah. So that's, pretty much what I got to say about Sue Bird. Like I said, class act. I love what she had to say about Caitlin. She is right. When you have a player of the skill set and caliber of Caitlin Clark who runs that pace like that, you have to pick her up full court. But at the same time, as you can see in the past couple games, teams are going to get tired trying to play with the Indiana Fever at that pace for 4 quarters. You can't play lazy basketball with them. You got to be on a swivel, and you got to play hard from the beginning with the Fever. They are coming to play at a pace that you haven't seen in probably the past couple games that you played in the WNBA. The Fever are bringing that type of pace. And it starts with Caitlin Clark. And I'm glad Sue Bird recognized that, acknowledged it, and pretty much gave Caitlin her flowers. Gotta love that about Sue Bird. And, Caitlin's a problem. And she's going to keep on displaying that more and more and more and more. So the league is in trouble. The league better watch out. The league's going to have to shift into a whole different league. They're going to have to get athletic. They're going to have to drop some pounds. They're going to have to get that endurance up. They're going to have to get in shape if they're going to play with Caitlin Clark. That's really all I got to say, man. Shout out to Sue Bird. Shout out to her podcast. Hopefully they're doing well over there. I appreciate this, man. And appreciate the 2 people who sent me this on Instagram. If you guys do want any contact, my email will be down below. Also, you guys can find me on Instagram or any of my other YouTube channels there. Feel free to drop a comment as well. Let me know if there's any segments or anything you guys want me to search up, find, give an intake, give my input on, and I'll make sure I get the video out. All right? Look, if you're new here, welcome to Game Day. If you're returning, welcome back. Welcome to the community. I appreciate you. We'd love to have you here. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, and I'll be back with another video. I think today we have 2 or 3 games, and I'm going to be covering 2 or 3 of them. I know we have a big game, and I definitely want to break down the Minnesota Lynx and Indiana Fever game, so stay tuned for that. Besides that, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a blessed morning. We out.